Okay, so I introduced to you Carmen Mitchell, the founder of Redwood Theater Company, and then she will bring out the goods.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our party. I don't know if you can see, Kim and I are ready for this virtual Chardonnay day with Karen K. Again, my name is Carmen Mitchell. I was the founder and executive director of Redwood Theater Company, and we are so thrilled to introduce this new branch of this theater company, Redwood Ice Theater Company. And this is our very first virtual happy hour with the incredible Karen Kresge, who we shall bring on right now. Woo!
Here's to everyone. Can you hear? Look, I've got gallery view. Oh my God. Okay. So a virtual happy hour is a wonderful thing. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Redwood Theater Company / Redwood Ice Theater Company. And also thank you to Kim Navarro. I haven't performed in front of this big an audience in, I don't know, probably Shanghai, right, Jojo? I don't know. But I do want to say that I did perform. I performed with Kim before she was born. So there's a few generations going on. Okay, they asked me to do this talk here, and I made some notes because I wanted to sort of do this right and not get lost. And what we're going to do today is we're chatting about our industry and kind of my journey through the ice shows and skating and performing and the life lessons that I've learned throughout, and the kind of the central theme, which I know all of you relate to, of friendship. And oh my God, look at everybody on here. Oh my God. Okay. And we are, Susan, we are burning your Chardonnay candle, Cuddle Up Candle Company. One of my Great America Snoopy gals. Okay. So in threes, I've sort of broken I'm going to try to blast through this, my own history, then we'll do a Q&A, and then at the end, there's a little bit of a wrap up with, again, sort of life lessons and so that you youngins, there's maybe a little bit of advice to pass on. So my three buckets, sort of my career quickly, Ice Follies in the 70s, Ice Follies in Las Vegas. Second bucket is the Santa Rosa shows and Stars on Ice and a Wayward hair commercial that I'll tell you about. And then the third bucket is Holiday on Ice and theme parks. Hi, Joey. Okay, stay focused. So first, I sort of assigned a theme to this of 3 words. And this is in honor of Cindy Stewart, who always said that words that begin with the letter P are kind of funny, like pantsuit and persimmon and things like that. So the theme of my talk today is passion, perseverance, and pulchritude. Look it up. With that, a little bit of feathers going on. So now, normally anybody who's worked for me knows that I have 3 rules. Okay, again, we're doing threes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the 3 rules. The first rule is get over yourself. And that means get out of your own way. Second rule is you can never have enough glitter. And that kind of started with makeup. There was a girl, Christy Vanaski, who did stretch that rule so that there's too much glitter. But it also can be figurative glitter, your pizzazz, your performance pizzazz. And the third rule, and I want everybody to join me with this, is that Chardonnay is spelled with 2 N's. So, and that has served me pretty well. I've had skaters bring me Chardonnay all the way over in Europe, holiday in Europe. Philippe, hello, Philippe. Speaking of holiday in Europe. Okay. So real quickly, I grew up in the Midwest. Skating was a serious hobby. I was never a very good competitor. I was city champion. But I always loved the shows that we did. We were lucky enough to do great amateur shows, which I think is so important.
We're supposed to drink now because there's technical difficulties.
Yes, exactly. Chantal's
So
on it.
everyone.
Yes, Chantal. Yes. Yeah.
Hi, Douglas.
Hi, Beanie.
We lost Karen.
Hi.
Hi, Colleen.
Yeah, she's talking. She's talking. Everybody drink.
Okay,
There's Karen.
Just okay.
There we go.
Am I sound-wise, am I on?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I'm going to try, there's no A-type personalities on this screen. So, all right. What I'm getting at is I joined Ice Follies in the ensemble, and I have no idea at 20 how I realized that if I put on a hot pink turtleneck leotard and skated through the lunch hour when all of the bosses would eat their lunch up in the seats. So Shipstads and Johnson, Eddie and Roy Shipstad and Oscar Johnson and Helen and Bob Maxon would eat their, I have no idea why I realized that if I would gain their attention. And they had just lost their star skater, Uschi Kessler. You may know Uschi, big coach. She was a German champion and she was going to be their next Ina Bauer. And her, incidentally, Elvis Stoico was her big student. So I just calculated the lunchtime practices and that put me in the right place to get the opening number solo. And I see Fitz is on the line. Patty Fitz and I, we were it was the opening number, Hotel Le Grand, and we were in those gorgeous black velvet showgirl outfits. And they came over to me after the photo shoot for the program was done. And they said, yeah, Karen, can you go up to wardrobe? We need to fit you into your costume for your solo. And I said, my what? And anyway, so that was while in the late 60s, oh, I see what she's doing. In the late 60s, while other girls my age were in college and burning their bras and demonstrating, I was on the road with Ice Follies skating to I Got Rhythm. So quickly, my Ice Follies stories are, and I don't know if I have Ice Follies friends. I know Fitz is here. Nancy Talavera, Christy Ito, Jinx and Terry Ann, I know might be on. Mary McDermott, the first Snoopy I skated with in Ice Follies. Okay, another life lesson. The very first solo I had, I took over. We would rehearse the new show in the day and perform the old show at night. So I actually had to go into Uschi Kessler's solo, and she was the Queen of Snow Valley. And I came out in a sleigh with 4 guys in this huge cape. And I got out of the sleigh and got out of my cape and proceeded to do my very first solo. And I thought I was so hot. And I fell 3 times. And our coach was Jimmy Grogan, who was Barbara Wagner's husband at the time. And I was, of course, in tears. I was destroyed. And he said, don't worry, you'll have a chance to do it again. At that point, I was still in the ensemble, still doing precision, center of the pinwheel. So in Ice Follies, what did I do? I grew out my hair, let it grow long. And by the 3rd year in Ice Follies, they said, who's the new girl? So next life lesson, if somebody hands you the ball, pick it up and run with it, which is what I did. My other Ice Follies, so I'm trying to do 3 stories of each. My other Ice Follies story, and again, this is, get over yourself. I was a Dwyer girl understudy, and it was the showboat year, and all the Dwyer girls were black and white. And I never was a Dwyer girl, but I was always an understudy. And I had to go in for all 4 girls, including one who had a 22-inch waist, took about 4 dressers to get me into it. But, the big hoop skirts, which I wasn't familiar enough with it. So as I was exiting into the tunnel, my big hoop bell skirt, I didn't know that little tweak you do to squeeze into the tunnel. And the tunnel grabbed my bell skirt and rang me like a bell. And I went down on my knees, and luckily we had pants on that, at that point. But Jill Shipstead's novel was always going to be, I have to clean this up, my butt for the world to see. So the world saw my butt, that's my Dwyer girl. But I got up. Another central theme in figure skating. I spent 8 years on the tour, 10-month tour with 1 month of rehearsals. That led to Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace, kind of a heady trip to I'm sure there are people on here that did Vegas, arriving in Las Vegas and seeing my likeness on a billboard and driving up to Caesar's Palace and seeing the fountains and thinking, at 22, I think I was, my God, I'm gonna go here. Okay, and that also led to, I'm trying to work the segues here, TV specials. Okay, we did 5 TV specials, and I see Judy and Dave. Hi, Judy and Dave. Judy was in them, I know. And they were all with Snoopy. The character of Snoopy was signed on to skate with Ice Follies in 1970. And subsequently, we did 5 TV specials that were centered around Snoopy. And through that experience, I met Charles Schultz, who said, well, when you retire from the road, you must come teach at my skating rink, which I did. And the rest kind of is history. So next bucket, the Santa Rosa shows, and in the 80s and 90s, and those kind of relate to all there. Subheadings there are Stars on Ice and the Nutcracker. I bet we have, if Charles is on, we have a few people, and Laura Porter, and who else? Oh God, Gail Gilbert, Paul Heath, Robin Cousins, the Nutcracker gang. Anyway, okay, so in Santa Rosa, we did summer shows, and alternating with the amateur shows, we did 4 summer shows, 79, 81, 83, and 85, and then we went to Christmas shows in 86. And it was for the 85 summer show that Sparky said, why don't we see if Scott Hamilton can come and do the show? I said, Scott Hamilton, he had just won the gold medal. Scott Hamilton. I figured out a way, I don't remember how, to locate his agent, and we got Scott Hamilton to be our star in 85, and then again in 86. And in doing these notes that I've written down there, that's Stars on Ice, oh my God, with Kitty Carruthers. Yep. In thinking through the Santa Rosa shows, I did with Sparky and with the gang at the rink in Santa Rosa, 24 shows between the years of 1979 and 2003. And to try to think of the memories, I know there are a lot of you on the line that remember, I mean, the shows just kept getting bigger and bigger and better and better. These were the things I wrote down: Whispering Hope, the Scottish Bagpipes, Henry V, the rain and the fog, the water fights, the pie fights, the Aztec temples, the flying rigs, the tumble tracks, thank you to Jill Schultz, the limousines and the sleighs and the trampolines, and just such amazing. I was so very lucky that Sparky sort of gave me my head and said, he would always say, whatever you do, do it right. He also would very often have particular numbers that he would want me to do, and I had to figure out a way to do them, those stories are endless. Henry V, that's another story, but he would say, do it right and create moments. That was 98, with Sparky and the gang backstage. And he would say, create moments. You want to do the laughter, the humor, the poignancy, the romance, the lump in the throat. And that I've always kept as my kind of tried and true rule with all of the creative directing and choreographing that I've done since then. My other favorite memories from Santa Rosa, and many of you can relate to this with any show, are the backstage memories, most of which can't be spoken of in a public forum like this, but you know what I mean. There's Tara. Oh my God, there's Tara. Tara, quick Tara story. She was 17. She came out on the ice. Our rehearsals began after Coffee Club, and she got on to the end of Coffee Club and was going into a flying camel. And oh my God, look at and our wonderful dressers. Look at Helen and Denise. Oh my God, and Linda. Anyway, Tara went into a flying camel, missed her edge, and split her chin. So her very first rehearsal day at 17, we had to send her luckily we had a plastic surgeon that skated Coffee Club. So he just bundled her into his car, stitched her up, and she was back on the ice in an hour. Okay, trying to race through this. The relationship with Scott Hamilton led me to Stars on Ice from 86 to 92. I was the founding director and choreographer with Stars on Ice. I don't know if Leanne is on, but I can remember going to the fabric store with Leanne and Lynn Plage, picking out fabric for the costumes. I mean, it was so low budget. By the time I left and Sandra Bezic came in, that's when they got the private jets and the masseuse on tour. But I was there for the, going to the fabric store and picking out the fabric so that Simone Grigorescu's mom could sew the costumes. Okay, third story from the Santa Rosa / Nutcracker / Stars on Ice years. Robin Cousins became a frequent star in Santa Rosa. And that, friendship sort of led to the Nutcracker, A Fantasy on Ice, which we did for 2 winters, 81 and 82 in San Francisco at the Warfield Theater. And I have 2 stories quickly from there. The first one is Dan and Lisa, my dearest friend, Lisa Navarro is somewhere here. Well, she's here in the building. Dan and Lisa, Lisa's all baby powdered up with the crown and she's the Snow Queen. And she's looking exquisite. And she and Dan are practicing some lifts in the stairwell before going on stage at the Warfield Theater. Now the Warfield Theater is in a kind of lousy part of San Francisco. And they were doing their warm-up lifts in the stairwell. And there was a gentleman, I would presume perhaps a little down on his luck, that was out on the street. And I don't know if he was homeless or whatever. He was a little down on his luck and he was passing the stairwell and he could look in and he saw Dan and Lisa doing their lifts. And I think he probably thought he had been transported to another planet. Okay, and there's my other famous Nutcracker story is life lesson. We had a stage manager, and that's a whole other story. But he came to me 15 minutes before opening night and he said, okay, we're gonna have to leave the tech on stage because when he makes the Christmas tree grow, the growing tree and the Nutcracker, and it was telescopic and he had to guide it up. He said, we haven't figured out how to get him off stage. It was 15 minutes before we opened. And I remember looking at my stage manager and said, you're telling me now, surely there's a way to fix that. Go away and you fix that. So because I think being a stage manager is the toughest role in the business, he left and kind of shrugged. And sure enough, with all the reviewers there and this, 27-piece symphony orchestra playing the Nutcracker, the tree telescoped up and the, da 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 da, and there he was. Stage check was left on stage. That was mentioned in the reviews. So that lesson I learned was always listen to your stage manager. And we did figure out a way. We put a costume on him, and he, if you were in the balcony of balconies, you maybe saw him dance away with the soldiers around him. So, okay. So that leads me to theme parks. I know I've got a bunch of theme park people online. Oh my God. We are also, I should probably just stop and say, we're also lucky to have this huge family, these amazing friendships. I've had, how many times have you said or commented on somebody's photo or post, oh my God, some of the best years of my life? And why is that? I truly believe that it's because family entertainment in general is pretty zany. We were in the trenches together. You just forge friendships that are unlike, I think, anything else. Maybe guys that are in the Army, maybe that's comparative or comparable, but anyway, we're so lucky to have this family. Building on the experience with Sparky and the Peanuts gang, I drew the group, and Charles Bradshaw, my first entertainment director, and I don't know if he's on, but Charles, oh my God, we wrote shows together, had so much fun with your gang, Julie Owens, Rob Perez, Timmy Barham, fantastic people, some of whom I still work with because I'm still doing theme park shows, but we began a long collaboration with Jill Schultz and Woodstock Ice Productions. So, a moment there to, say thank you for that relationship. We continued with the moments of humor, whimsy, romance. We wrote them into the theme park shows, and I made my skaters be, I'm going to see some laughter here. Some of you had to be glamour s'mores with the, the marshmallow puff and the big graham cracker hat and the long black gloves and fishnets. Some of you had to be Dog Biscuit Girls. Snoopy did, he was Master Chef once. There we are, the Dog Biscuit Girls. And they came out of the oven on stage right there. Because of course, if Snoopy was a master chef, he's going to make dog biscuits. And then of course, there's a legendary crayons. I don't think I have a picture, but if you were a crayon, you know that you were part of a very special group. One of the many numbers I was choreographing as I was choreographing, I laughed so hard I cried. The Knots show then expanded to Cedar Point, and the Cedar Point memories are legendary. I don't even know where to begin with that. And then we ended up expanding into 5 other parks across the US and Canada, all under the Cedar Fair theme park umbrella. There were a number of years where I was casting over 100 skaters in 7 different parks, summer and Christmas. I lost count. But the shows we don't do as many, but we still have shows going strong. The pandemic has kind of, put a little kink in it. We didn't do shows last year, but we still have a couple of Snoopy Christmas shows at both Knott's and Great America in San Jose, and hopefully we'll be back on the ice this winter. There we go. There's one of the summer shows, our white finale. Oh my God, there's a few. I see Cindy and Nina. A few people on there are on this call right now. Okay, so this brings me to, full circle. Obviously, figure skating is built on circles, and full circle is kind of a theme through my life anyway, maybe yours as well. My relationship with Robin Cousins led me to Holiday on Ice. We're now sort of we're in the aughts and the tens, 20 aughts and the 2010s. And my biggest work probably was first Robin invited me to be a guest judge on Torval and Dean's Dancing on Ice, which was a live TV show in the UK. We don't get it here. It actually just closed its season. Matt Evers and his partner were second. Anyway, that led to working with Holiday on Ice. And I was Robin's choreographer in the show Spirit. And I think, I don't know who's on, but then that led me to being the creative director. That's Spirit, yeah, that was the opening number. Try to follow Robin Cousins, who had been the choreographer in the previous years. Try to follow him as a choreographer. So the bar was set pretty high. That was our wonderful opening number. And then that led to the 2010 show Festival, where I was the creative director. And who is that? Ricky Boudreau has a headdress on that looks a little like our set in Festival. One of the things they said, again, figure it out. They said, we're going to go down from 7 trucks to 4. Most of you know what that means. So let's see. I said, okay, 7 trucks to 4. Well, then we have to make the set inflatable so that it can break down. And there you can sort of see, there's Michael Solodowski. And you can sort of see a little bit of the rainbow. We called it a cornucopia. It very quickly got another name for a long cylindrical thing. Anyway, Festival was the biggest project I probably ever did as creative director, with help from Nancy Pluto, who I know is on the call, and then Melanie Lambert. Yay, hooray, hooray. Lovely story, going back to Kim Navarro, who I performed with when she was still a fetus. I said to her, Kim, I can't, this is the biggest show I've ever done. Kim and Brent had just finished their world competitive season, and they were going to retire. And I said, Kim, I really want you and Brent. I wanted an ice dance team. I got 2 pairs. I wanted a crazy Russian adagio pair, and I wanted an ice dance team. I said, Kim, you and Brent just have to be my ice dance team, because I want that moment when I get on to rehearsals the first day and you're there. And what a full circle. And Kim was there. And it was amazing. Amazing. And, that was my first moment from Holiday. My second moment is probably pretty heady stuff, sitting in the front row with all the bosses. And you've gone through the 3 months of, there's Kim and Brent. Sure, I made them snakes. Yeah. But sitting in the front row and hearing the overture strike up for your show for the first time in Hamburg, Germany, that was pretty heady stuff. and then sitting on the plane coming home and sort of, kind of processing it all and kind of saying to myself, like, I did that. I actually did that. And, as Kim Navarro said earlier, there is the thing that they refer to as imposter syndrome. There were many times when I thought, oh, what am I doing here? Do I deserve to be doing all this? And yeah, sure, no problem. And so what has gotten me through is passion, perseverance, and a little pulchritude. So that's my story. How about, okay, all right. So now I think what we're going to do is open it up to questions. And then, like I said, at the end, I do have some more rules. Oh God, there's my first headshot. I was 20, Ice Follies. Yeah, little did I know. Little girl from Bay Village, Ohio. Anyway, so I have some odd stories that we can go to when the questions are done. Some stuff about Shanghai that Jojo will remember. Ice Follies that Fitz will remember. Okay, so questions, and I don't know how this is going to work. I think somebody's going to, I think you have to text questions in, and if you haven't yet, I can stall and tell you a couple of stories. Kim, my director, what shall I do?
Yeah, you can, if you have any questions, you can write them in the chat, or we can be casual and you can just unmute yourself. But there were some that were sent in. So Carmen
has a few. Okay. Carmen,
we'll start with Carmen's, and if you think of some, write them in the chat preferably, or unmute yourself, and we'll go from there.
No subject is off limits.
All right. Okay. Sorry, just getting it all organized.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting, sorry.
All right. This one is from Jillian. What is your best show skating memory?
Oh, Jillian, as in D'Agostino? Oh my God. Beautiful, Jillian. Oh my, well, that you bring up a memory when I was standing, one of the first big days of rehearsals with Hans Stahl, our producer, our executive producer from the Netherlands with Holiday on Ice. And I nudged him and I said, you wanted a pretty cast. How did I do? Everybody was so gorgeous in that show. My favorite ice show memory, I figured somebody was going to ask that. There's way too many. But I think I have to say, it's a broad memory, but creating the ice shows with Sparky. And he would come up from the coffee shop having either his lunch or his 4:00 afternoon cookie. And I, at the time, had an office at the rink, and I would be finding music for the Christmas shows, and he'd come up and he'd have his ideas. He and Jeannie went to Scotland one year, and he wanted a Scottish number. And I said, well, okay, then the only way I know how to do a Scottish number is to start the show with it. Snoopy's going to be the drum major with the mace, with the full-on kilt and the full-on, I forget what they call it. There's something. It's not a helmet, but you know what I mean, the big one. It's, oh God. Yeah, those were the special. So that's kind of an overall memory. But I don't know, Jillian. I mean, hearing the overture for a festival, that was pretty special. Okay.
Okay. So from a Marianne.
Who?
Marianne.
One of our great adult skating.
Amelia. Okay. Hi.
Okay. What is your craziest story about the Snoopy Christmas shows? For example, if when something happened behind the scenes or during a scene.
Well, crazy memory, and it's not a really good memory, but it was crazy because we did 24. I did 24 shows in Santa Rosa with Sparky. Most of them Christmas shows, but there was one year, and Judy Thomas is here, and the year of that show was, I believe it was a Christmas portrait, and the through line was that Snoopy painted a portrait to start each number. And he had come off of, and I forget maybe it was the Monet number, I forget the number, maybe it was the Dwyer number, and Judy Sladkey was in the Snoopy suit, and came off and stepped wrong and broke her leg above the ankle. And so she's lying backstage, and I'm sure Tara remembers, I'm sure a lot of you remember this. I don't know if Paige is on. My two show daughters, Tara and Paige. And somebody came into my dressing room saying, Snoopy's just broken his leg. Judy's just broken his leg. And of course, the first thing you say is, you're kidding. Well, no, of course I'm not kidding. Why would I kid about a thing like that? And Judy Thomas, that's right. It had been the number where we had 4 Snoopies playing Richard's Dwyer Girls. It was a total send up of Richard's Dwyer Girls. So we had the main Snoopy, and then 4 girls dressed as Snoopy's sister, Belle, with the big eyelashes and big red sequin gowns, because that's a 54-inch girth. We found that out when we had to make the kilt for Snoopy. And Judy, without thinking, knew that Snoopy had to go out there with a paintbrush in the audience and at the easel paint the next scene. So she immediately put on the costume, ran out into the audience, and the show just went on like nothing. And it's, so you Disney on Ice people that she is now your casting director for, that's where the mind goes. The show, as Kim would say, the show goes on. The show must go on. Okay.
From a Michael Villarreal.
Michael Villarreal, yay!
Yes. Many people say the glory days of ice shows are over. Ice Capades, Stars on Ice. But does Karen agree with this statement? And if so, does she think there is any way or time for a level of that popularity to come back?
Oh, wow. Well, I certainly agree that we certainly had glory days. I was in Ice Follies. The competing company was Ice Capades. And then Stars on Ice, Champions on Ice, the Tommy Collins tour, rest his soul. Whatever the new form will take, I don't know. I have a feeling, I wonder about all this virtual stuff. Obviously live entertainment, which is our business, live family entertainment. How do you do live entertainment without an audience? And I'm looking at Fitz here in the middle of my screen, who I skated in Ice Follies with, who then became, for 30 plus years, the wardrobe director. Thank you very much for this San Francisco Ballet, which that's pretty heady stuff, the ballet and the opera house, but still it depends on a live audience. I don't know, Michael. I would like to think that after all of the craziness is over, that people will come surging back. I had kind of a cool moment at a Disney on Ice show some years ago. I think I was auditioning somebody, or I was meeting Michael Helgren, or I was meeting Cindy Stewart or something. And I came to the Disney show and I was alone, and I was walking the arena, and I looked around at the generations of the family's generations. There were the kids, the parents, and the grandparents. And the dad had on the king's cape, and the little girl was dressed as the princess, and the grandparents had the funny Nemo hats on. And I just thought, well, this can't be all gone. The live entertainment experience, I think, I'm looking at I can't see. Patty, is that you with Cindy? Yeah, hi. Anyway, I can't believe it's all done. You guys are front and center with Disney on Ice. And you got Disney on Ice, thank you, Kenneth Feld, who I think the review I read, or the interview I read years ago, was, if anybody can figure out how to do a live tour doing this during this pandemic, Disney can. And you guys figured it out, and you hit some roadblocks, but you kept going. And I believe there's a second one happening. So I don't know, Michael. I think, Michael, basically the bottom line is that you have to come back and do the Knots show again. So warm up that back flip. Okay.
We have the very top, Haley.
Haley, hi. Speaking of backflips, hello.
What was your favorite city to perform in, and why?
Oh, on the Ice Follies tour, we did 30 cities, 40 weeks. Richard would know. We were just talking about this last night. I loved Minneapolis. I loved the people there, and the Leamington Hotel, and I had my favorite room there, which I would get every year. I loved Minneapolis because just the people were so sweet. I can remember performing Detroit in the late 60s when it had just been, the race riots. Detroit was burned out. We played the Olympia Stadium right in the heart. And they told us as soon as the show is over, don't take your makeup off, throw your clothes on, get on the bus. We got to get the heck out of here so they can let the guard dogs out in the arena. My favorite city. That's a good one, Haley. Well, the Garden. We performed at the Garden, Madison Square Garden. That was pretty special. And coming back to Oakland, I think Ice Follies opened the Forum in LA, Inglewood. Too many. Montreal, having snails, my first experience with escargot. Okay, what's next?
We have one from Elisa Navarro.
Lisa Navarro?
Did you ever improvise on the spot during a show?
How many times? I'm remembering, Lisa Navarro memory, a couple. Rehearsing the live outdoor Embarcadero show, rehearsing it in the parking garage at the last moment, going out, performing. It was like a publicity show. I don't know, it was a 20-minute show maybe. And in the middle we had makeshift dressing rooms with no curtains on the top. In the middle of the show, we're looking up at Embarcadero Center at the buildings, and there's people in their offices with binoculars looking down at our changing rooms. And then it started to rain. Did I ever improvise? Of course I did. How many times? You forget your routine, which I did years ago. Improvise, yeah. Well, that one of my central tenets, my have your contingency plans. What are you going to do if? Ricky Inglesi, God rest his soul, he went out. Oh God, what was the number? It was a gospel number, and he did a routine to Blood, Sweat, and Tears. What goes up must come down. And he always was way ahead of his music. So he was always down when it was up and up when it was down. But he went into his squat position once in his white spandex pants and split them. So he ran off stage and said, Karen, you got to go out and cover for me. So I went out in my gospel, there's a picture somewhere, that purple costume with all the things hanging off of it. And I went out and improvised for Ricky. So yeah, constantly. How many, take a drink. If you, people in my sphere here that I'm looking at, have ever improvised either in a performance or, because there are some of you, a business meeting. Take a drink. See? Yeah.
Okay, Karen, I have some from the chat.
Okay.
Ryan Gutzmer wants to know how many people you think you've put through college.
Oh, that's a sweet question. A lot. I always have made it my deal, especially with the theme park shows, which have now been the last 20 years, to, if it's rehearsal week and they've got a final and they're going to be late to rehearsals, it's always, okay, you know what? Yes, your education is so much more important because you need to grow up, get a real job, a big boy job or big girl job, make a lot of money so that you can contribute to the Karen Kresge retirement home. So I don't know how many, Ryan, a lot. I don't know if Eric and Lisa Harriman are on, but he would be one of the first that, and I should say that you guys have gone on. Ryan, you're a fabulous salesman for a wonderful company. And I've got a lot of, I'm so possessive. There's a lot of nurses. There's a couple of doctors, Liz Mulvey. There's Joey, the anesthesiologist, and Angela DePinto, who's a nurse. Interesting that you guys have gone into fields that are very, empathetic. Interesting. And then there's Eric. He just became an anchor for news. So, anyway, okay, next.
Okay, Elizabeth wants to know, Elizabeth says Sean wants to know what your favorite trip to Reno was.
That's a good one, Sean. Well, Lisa Navarro and I went with Sean and Clayton, our beloved Great America people. I don't know if Clayton's here. I think Sean is. You make friends and you make family everywhere. And Clayton was well, at first, he became the entertainment director. Now he's corporate entertainment director for Cedar Fair. Sean also became entertainment director of Great America, although now he has a big boy job with Facebook. But my favorite trip to Reno, we wanted to go see some show. We were doing research and we were going to see some magic show, some magician. And we took a road trip to Reno and drove the 4 hours and stayed at the hotel up there and went to this horrible show at Harrah's and ate way too much and had a cheese omelet the next day because we were so hungover. A cheese omelet the size of a football. I think we did 2 or 3 trips to Reno, Sean, and they were all my favorite. I can't stop looking at Ricky's headdress. Can I just tell you that Ricky, in the black and white number, when I dressed you in all white and we turned the UV light on you, no, you were the solo after we had a number that people came out in white pants, and then the white shirts came out, and then the white gloves came out, and then the white hats came out. And Elin was in it, Elin Sharan, who, anyway, that's another.
Well, she's on my computer right now.
Okay, yes. And Elin was one of the shirts, I think. And so it was all the pieces of the costume, and then you came out as the full costume. And Combustible Edison was the music. Thank you, Cindy Stewart, who turned me on to that. Anyway, okay, next.
Okay, so this is very important. Jojo Starbuck wants to know what your favorite Richard Dwyer story is. And she says, loved your Follies show called Ice. It inspired her competitive career with Ken to be in a show someday.
Oh.
So favorite Richard Dwyer story.
Well, okay, I have to tell a couple since it's JoJo's question. My favorite Richard Dwyer story. Okay, I have 2. One was opening number, my first solo, actually. Eventually, it turned into, maybe it was my second year solo. And I descended a circular staircase. And Richard skated before me, and on tape, he gestured and he introduced me. A glimpse of rhythmic Americana, Karen Kresge. And I then, spotted on top of the staircase, and then I descended the staircase. But one night, I tripped. And there was a railing wound around the center pole of the circular staircase. And first, I don't know how, one of those things, I don't know how, but I maintained my hold on it. I fell all the way to my full arm, wrapped, because it was a circular, so I was already in circular motion. I swung all the way around, pushed off, got back on the stairs, and finished my staircase and did my number. And Richard, in the meantime, was going, and my second favorite probably would be when we recreated the Dwyer Girls in Sun Valley 2 summers ago, 3 summers ago. And we pulled some fabulous costumes from the Santa Rosa warehouse. And the Dwyer Girls, Richard Dwyer Girls, were Sarah Kawahara, Judy Thomas, Sylvia Frosher, and myself. So it was kind of an A-list group. But JoJo, okay, Shanghai International Arts Festival, 1987, and she will nod and remember this, when we were eating dinner, we were all in the same hotel. And this is after meeting Elton John and, Chris and Lisa doing the backflip and puncturing the ice with her toe pick, backflip over the head, and the, glycol geyser. Anyway, but you'll remember, JoJo, when we were in the restaurant and we were also at this Shanghai International Arts Festival, we were there with the Japanese opera company, and the sopranos from that opera company, a cappella, got up in front of everybody at the restaurant and began to sing Un bel die from La Boheme. And you guys all know it. You may not know it by name, but JoJo and I did sobbing, tears streaming down her face. Quite a memory.
Okay, do you want another question, Miss Karen?
Another question, yeah. Because nothing is more fun than talking about yourself.
Find out. Okay, so Trisha wants to know what's next for you after COVID because she misses you in Boise.
Oh, Trisha, oh my goodness, Sadie's mom. Yes, hi. Oh, my Boise gang. Well, I've done, not to talk too much about myself, but I also, I teach, I still teach, and I've done some wonderful seminars. And thank you to my show daughter, Tara, who has brought me to Boise. So I have another Boise family. So I hope what's next for me is more seminars where I teach my crazy theatricality classes and I bring props and they have to do wild things. And then I critique, I do individual artistic consultation and critique their numbers, yada, yada. And then I'm hoping that the theme park shows in some form come back this Christmas, because I think we all need to, breathe life back into businesses and theme parks. And so I'm hoping that's next. And I have a new knee, so that's my big news. Wait a minute, where's my high kick? Woohoo! I can't. I'm on a stool, so I don't want to lean back.
Next one. So you're probably hearing my kids. Philippe. It's a quick question. Philippe asks, well, here we go. Do you feel like you're everyone feels like you're their fairy godmother because you got them through their best years of their life. Do you feel that way?
Oh my goodness. I want to take credit for everybody's success. Are you kidding? My God. Oh, Philippe, dear Philippe Holiday. Philippe was the ultimate skater / line captain / should have been performance director. Oh my God. Do I feel like everybody's fairy godmother? I certainly have been a confidant. And my family, I refer to it all the time online as, our family, our extended family. And aren't we just so really lucky that we are this incredible family? And quick story. Robin Cousins, who is a dear, dear friend, his mom was in failing health. And I was Vincent, my adorable husband, who gets credit center screen, who's been with me since 93. Oh God. Hello, Vincent. Yeah, drink. Let's drink to Vincent. Vincent needs a drink. We were in London and we said to Robin, well, we must meet for dinner. And I don't know whether we met at Claridge's or Wilton's, but Robin said, would you call my mom? She'd love to chat. So I called Joe Cousins, and we knew the family from the Santa Rosa shows because Robin's whole family would come from London, from England, or Bristol, I guess, to Santa Rosa, and they became family. And she talked about another recurring theme, friendships, and how the friendships that we build in this industry through skating, she said, with all of the friendships that Robin has had in all of his different areas, because he's done theater, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Does anybody else have a picture of Robin as Frank N. Furter? And theater, when he did Chicago, and she said his best and his most enduring friendships are his skater friendships. So I don't know, fairy godmother, I think we're all in the same fairy tale.
Well, everybody drink if you think that Karen's been your fairy godmother.
Oh, really? Vincent, my dove, you need a drink.
I have one from Shauna Andrews. What is the most creative theme party you've ever attended?
Creative theme party?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All I can think of is opening night parties. I can think of the opening night party for festival and everybody getting just, oh, wow. Well, theme party. I think you're referring to parties that I didn't, that Shauna, you and your Cedar Point people, you and the Cedar Point people, you were the ones who started this. You'd have, my God, they would do 70s theme at the bowling alley, or they would go to the Goodwill store, and you couldn't spend more than $10, and you had to buy an outfit, and you had to wear that outfit all day, and then go on the boat around Put-in Bay. You guys were the ones, and you had some pretty wicked in those apartments at Cedar Point. I think you had some pretty wicked parties. So I don't know my favorite theme. Opening night at festival, I think that's the one I can remember, with Melanie and Rebecca. And anyway, okay, next.
Okay, next. Daphne Johnson, philosophical question. What do you think the future of skating is? You touched on this a little bit. And do you think it will be the next golden age of ice skating? Like many are predicting. And sorry, you hear my kids.
I hope so. I mean, what's strange, and a lot of the people on this call will remember this from that era. What's so strange is that our industry, figure skating in general, got such a boost and such a kick from the Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding thing, which, was just so soap opera. And it became the shot lights, shone on figure skating so much through that. And that also came right around the time that the Winter Olympics, remember when they decided to leapfrog the Olympics, and when the Winter Olympics were selected to repeat in just 2 years as opposed to 4. So, it was the 90 and then 92. Christie won in 92, I think. And at any rate, so right around that time, there was so much attention paid to figure skating. So I think what we need to do is create, and I think we all need to think about this and drink on it, another soap opera event that will bring skating back to the front. I don't know. I hope figure skating has we all read that article recently about, figure skating, taking a downturn. It's a sport. I mean, come on. Maybe the next Olympics, if Nathan becomes our champion, maybe there, be a little bit of a spotlight. I mean, the Russians are going to beat us with ladies and dance, or ladies in pairs. I don't know about dance. Anyway, okay, next. Okay, I'm almost.
All right, we'll do two more. I'll do 2 more questions.
Okay.
So I hope that's not our fairy godmother telling us to whack someone in the knee. We'll be okay. So maybe you are. Okay. It's not a question, but Judy Hubert is here, and she's saying that she was an understudy, your understudy the first year.
Judy who?
Hubert. She was your understudy that first year in Ice Follies.
Oh my goodness! Wait, do I know her as Judy Huberg, or do I know her as?
I don't know.
I know her as Judy.
Who knows if reading is my strength? Maybe I even have that wrong. I'll ask you this one. How about one last question from Jessica? What was your favorite number you ever created?
Wait! I know this. Opening number in Spirit. And Bolero and Festival. Seconded by opening number in Spirit. Holiday on Ice.
We'll drink if we're ever in that. Go, Philippe. Got a drink.
Okay, yeah. And so I know we're nearing the end, right?
Yes, I do. Haley wants to she asked me if we can take a photo, like a screenshot. And Haley, do you want to tell me, just with my phone? This is how dumb I am.
Well, I can do it, and then I could send it to you if you want to send it out to everyone. So I'm going to do a couple screenshots just in case I need to switch from one page to the other because there's so many people here. So just let me know the next 5 seconds while I take a picture, okay?
Perfect.
Ready? Okay, hold on a second. Let me get it ready. Okay, 1, 2, 3, cheers. And let's do another one. 1, 2, 3. And 2 more. And last one. Awesome.
Kim, is that the whole bottle? Girl after my own heart. Okay, so pulling it all around, you guys. I've got some more rules, okay? Figure skating is based on circles. Full circle is a concept. My career has worked full circle many times, But in full circle, this is life advice. Be nice, because you don't know when it's going to come around again to you. Do the work. And the subheading of that is, at the end of the day, people always know who did the work. There are plenty of times when you think, oh, but I didn't get credit for that. You know what? People know. And at some point, eventually, hopefully, you'll get credit. As a director, and this goes for any industry, it's all in the details. Tara would roll her eyes because I couldn't cut music unless I had my desk clean and a fresh bouquet of roses. I needed to have my palette cleaned before I could create. Have a contingency plan. Know your contingency plans. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Focus on it, look at it, figure it out, and be really good at juggling. And, you know, the question earlier was, you know, have you ever improvised? Yeah, we all have. And a Lisa Navarro story, you know, contingency plans. And I see Doug Webster on here. It was an Ice Theater New York event. And it was a Richard Dwyer salute. And we brought the big Dwyer gowns from Santa Rosa with the big feather collars. And there was one gal, and I don't know who it was because I didn't know her, but the big wired feather collars, there was a wire sticking almost directly into her jugular vein. And she was, you know, we were putting them on the ice. Lisa Ilsley Navarro was backstage going, and she said, yeah, but this wire. And Lisa said, it'll be fine. Do your best and go out. You know, you figure it out. Another rule, know your pecking order. Years ago when I was 21 and my window to the boss because I wanted to ask for a raise. And I had my notes. I've been here for 3 years and I think I deserve a raise. And I've been, you know, I've been mentioned in a review. I came back with two things. The first was never believe your own press clippings, which is a great rule. And the other one is the boss may not always be right, but he's always the boss. So know your pecking order. And luckily, if you get to be the boss, pretty much, although, you know, there's another story there, but anyway, and, you know, why do we all say that this is some of the best years of our lives? Because of the passion and because of the perseverance that we have all shown. And and that has led us to, I suppose, the central theme, which is the friendships. I mean, I am in touch with, you know, I'm looking at Fitz and JoJo and people from my past. I don't know, I can only see a small screen, so I don't know. But I know that as far as people that were interested, there are people from my high school. See the lovely poster back here? See me as a kid? That big poster was made from my high school alumni association that I was honored at a couple of years ago. Okay, respect above all things. That's before the 3 rules, respect. And the final thing, and this is a nod to my glorious, fabulous, adorable 2 daughters-in-law, Lauren and Erin. Be authentic. They are 2 of the most authentic women I know. And that, I think, serves everybody well in any field. Be authentic. And if you're Jess Martino and you've left the ice shows and you're on your corporate jet, because I remember asking you this, and you're going up the steps of your corporate jet. I said, how much did you rely on your memories of fishnets and, you know, eyelashes? And she said, all the time. So that's my words of wisdom from your fairy godmother. And how fun is this? Somebody else has to take a turn next time, and I want to ask the questions.
Well,
thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys. So on that note, you sent me a video of all the Santa Rosa shows, like a compilation, and it's so great. And we didn't share that. But if you get in touch with Karen and myself, we can share that. We were nerding out on Cindy Stewart's solo last night, Carmen Mitchell, my mom and I.
Which one? The jellyfish?
So cool in her black dress. It was so good. And we are so lucky to have Cindy on this call. And Cindy,
Yes.
want to know if you did a pole dance in Ice Follies.
I did.
So Cindy, you are right.
Are you serious? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Had a big prop. There's a picture somewhere of me on the prop, and there's a pole there, and absolutely. But yeah, in my 3-foot diameter bell bottoms.
I saw it. I saw it.
Yeah.
Karen, I was just a little girl, and that's why you're my hero. Still.
Until you get your toe pick stuck in them.
Oh.
Oh, God.
So I think drink if you've ever seen your fairy godmother pole dance. Good time. Yeah, but thank you. We were so excited to do this event, and in texting people like Doug and Cindy to see if they were going to join us. Judy Thomas had already registered. We were like, we hope you're next. So I hope that Doug Webster thinks about what kind of drink he wants to pair his talk with. And Cindy thinks about what kind of drink she wants to pair her talk with.
Yeah.
I don't know if is there anything else you want to say, Karen? Because I was just going to play a little bit of the crowd reaction. We could all bow together, or you can just do one big fabulous bow yourself.
Bowing is wonderful. No.
Yeah.
It's be authentic. Get over yourself. You can never have enough glitter. Chardonnay is spelled with 2 N's. And fittingly, this is my last sip.
Okay, so with that, Karen, a little bow for us, please. Hey, thank you again. Is there anything, Carmen, I need to do? Anything? No? Anything else? Okay, thank you. We've recorded this, so all glitches too, so we can watch this over and over and drink some more.
Oh, Sammy! Look at everybody.
So I will keep the meeting open just a little bit so Karen can kind of look at everybody.
How do I see everybody? Oh my God! I see. It's Nancy, but it says Daphne Johnson. That's not
Daphne Johnson is here.
Okay, but it looks like Tara.
I think we should cheers.
You should cheer. We should
cheer.
Okay,
one final cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
There we go.
Cheers, Karen, Kim. Thank you so much, you guys, for doing this. It was terrific.
Shauna, what are you drinking? Shauna's got like this gallon jug. God, I hope it's water. Or not.
Cheers, Karen. It was so nice to see you.
Send us the pictures, Kim.
Okay. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you.
Yes, Haley, thank you for taking a photo. Send it our way.
Welcome. I'll send it to you.
Thank you so much. Everybody have a great afternoon. Drink some more. Think about
Jamie! Oh my God, Jamie! Where's the little diva? Okay. All right. Oh my God.
Thank you, Kim. She's a dad.
Okay.
She is.
I'm leaving.
Hi, Natalie. Bye, Natalie.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Karen.
Oh my God, there he is. Are you moving around? Of time. Jamie, where's the baby?
Wait, I'm trying to. Am I there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? She's with Frank, but he might be bringing her over.
Oh, Ricky. Get it.
Oh my God, he's taking his hat off. Oh my God.
Hi.
Hey, bye. Okay. If one of us doesn't leave, we'll be here for another hour.
Okay, I'll be back after my client meeting. See you soon.
Who is that?
Love you, miss you.
Oh, you show off.
I have a client call, but I'll be back in an hour,
You
so don't leave.
show off.
We'll be here.
Perfect.
Cindy, Patty, how are you?
We're good.
Good. Well, who have I Zoomed with? I've Zoomed with over this crazy year.
Yeah.
I've Zoomed with Cindy and
It's
Patty.
been a while. Yeah.
Fitz, how's Mexico? Patty Fitz, fabulous. I saw fabulous, but I can't hear you. Great? Oh, yeah.
Carayano.
No, maybe I'm unmuted. Mexico's fabulous. Yeah.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
It's been great.
Devin Dean Ducina.
Hello.
Oh my
Hello.
God.
This little baby.
Carol, where's Rosa? And look at Elizabeth. Elizabeth, can you stand up and give me your best Hall of Fame pose? Elizabeth,
No, I will not suffer through that again, Karen. You
Say hello. Take it off. Cindy and Patty want to say hello. Just say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Jessica, do you have a client call soon? Or do you have to get on a corporate jet anytime soon? Where'd she go? What? Oh, you switched. Oh my God, things are jumping around. Jamie, draw the line at that. We don't need to hear that. No. There's Aileen with a baby. Aileen, you have a baby? How did I miss that?
I have 2 babies now.
Everybody. Oh my God. Okay. And Doug, you're up in Maine in the cold. Oh my God.
It's freezing today. Yeah, absolutely. But spring's coming. I've got bulbs coming up out of the ground, and
oh, good.
I went
good.
a little COVID heavy planting tulips and daffodils last fall.
Good. There's nothing wrong. I'm pouring again. Nothing wrong with being phobic about daffodils.
No, Karen, this was just fabulous listening to this. And Kim, thank you. I enjoyed every minute of it and seeing everybody, and what an inspiration you are. Thank you so much for all your gifts.
Okay, I have another story. Since you're all here. Nobody asked this. What was my favorite review? This is under the theme of get over yourself. Years ago in Boston, and it was a good review, and it actually was good for me, but they referred to me as the, quote, gloriously great-thighed giantess, Karen Kresge. And, that was bad enough, but walking into the building the next day, and leave it to our beloved crew, stage managers, stage techs, which we love so dearly, and they don't get enough. Anyway, so I walked into the building the next day, and all the stagehands were going boom, 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 like here comes the giantess. So always be humble. And what else? Oh, I told you about falling down this. And Peggy Fleming's first entrance into the Ice Follies family, because she and I joined the same year. She's a good friend, and she came into, Fitz will remember this, she came into Winterland Arena, and the children's number was rehearsing at the time, and it was an original children's number based around the theme of Looneyland, and the theme was called Welcome to Looneyland. So as Peggy entered Winterland Arena, they were rehearsing Welcome to Looneyland, and yeah, she was in Looneyland. So anyway, that's all the stories I got.
Karen, can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a lot of time here, but
oh, good. Is this the one where everybody says good things about me? Oh, good.
Yes. I want to share a story about the couple of the things that I learned from you. And one of the most important was that, you were so comfortable, I remember in Santa Rosa, and you would sit there during notes, and, if somebody asked you a question and you didn't have the answer, you just say, let me think about that. I don't have the answer right now, but I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And then you'd scribble. And I just always loved that coming from a leader, that you felt really comfortable in the not knowing. That's one of the first one. It's so great.
I would imagine you use that yourself often.
More frequently than I would like to, but yeah. And the other was the something. When you
that needs to be credited to Kathy Steele, and many times passed down something. And
oh my gosh,
I don't know if that ever happened because I never worked with Kathy Steele. Kathy Steele was the one that I, as a 10-year-old, going to ice follies or ice capades, waiting at the stage door, watching Kathy Steele walk by with those eyes. And I've told her this. I've had the career, luckily, and it has enabled me to tell Kathy Steele that I was, I just shivered watching her walk by.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a Kathy Steele-ism.
But really what's behind it, beyond the gesture, it's again in the not knowing of what's
right.
I don't have the answer to that particular section, but I'm going to put this up for now, and then we're going to move on, and then we'll come back, and then we'll fill in the something. So we don't know now. And I love it.
I'm looking at Nisha and Colleen are two people, and probably Elizabeth as well, and certainly Tara. My God, Tara. Choreographing when you don't know where you are, and being able to, I have been lucky enough to be able to return to different projects with the same people, and you get to a certain place in your sentence or your choreographic sentence, and they know the end of it. And they, as Colleen would say, it's your choreography. Karen's choreography is in her DNA, and I would think, or I like to think, that Tara, when she does her fabulous amateur shows now, and Nisha has done many fabulous amateur shows, that they pull back and that they reach back to those moments, and they, you just something. We don't know what it is, but we're going. And Tara taught me a great lesson, Cindy, years ago, and we were doing, it was the Hollywood number. And Tara has always been very good at being my conscience. And we were on lunch break, and she said, Karen, I think we ought to come back with the movie number. And I said, but I don't have anything planned. And she said, so? And I went, okay. And I came back, and it happened. And never forget that, Karen. Yeah, you on the fly. And sometimes you can, and Doug knows this, sometimes you can over prepare. Anyway. Does anybody else want to say fabulous things about me?
I want to say things about...
I can tell a Michael story, Michael Solanowski. So he's going to be the vampire. He's going to be Dracula. And Vincent and I had just been to Vegas and had just seen, I believe the show, it was a Zoomanity. I'm not sure that was a Cirque show. I always thought it was, but I'm not sure. Anyway, they had a drag queen as the kind of the MC, who had this fabulous cape. And I remember studying the shape of the cape. And it was a kind of a balloon shape, but it had lines in it. And I remember telling the Holiday on Ice person, I want a cape like this. And it's shaped like this. And we made it 40 feet long. I said, make it long, and we can always cut it down. And Michael, I said, okay, Michael, you're going to try this cape out. It's 40 feet long. And he said, really? I said, yeah, just skate fast, skate really fast. and I said, I don't want to cut it down. And he figured out how to maneuver that 40-foot cape, not only running around the sides of the ice, which he did first, with skate guards, but then on the ice.
That was my first show, by the way. So I feel like the greenness of that experience worked in your favor and mine. But I feel like had I maybe done a couple of shows, I might have looked at it and gone, this is not a great idea. I'm not sure I want to do that. But I was just so new, and it was really early in rehearsals that I feel like I just was like, okay, sure. Yeah. At 40 feet, no problem. All right, let's go.
And 2 words, China silk. That's the difference. China
it was very light.
Nothing else. It was China silk.
It could tangle very easily. Unfortunately, I learned later on.
Sometimes flip it and it came over your head. But
yes, or it would get tangled in chairs or wheels or wheelchairs. Sometimes.
Didn't audience members use it as a blanket sometimes?
Yeah. Well, what happened? So I'll tell a funny story quickly, Karen. That cape, as I was running on the perimeter of the rink once, got tangled in a couple of wheelchairs, and then the people who were sitting in those wheelchairs decided that it would make a lovely blanket. So they were holding it as one would over their laps. And it was attached, by the way, to my neck only. Yeah. So it was this long 40 feet of very light silk, but it was attached to my neck. And as I'm running by, I stopped running and felt like I was getting choked and couldn't figure out what was going on. And I turned around, you know, in character, of course, the ice is on fire and there's like bats and demons and everything. Right. And I realized at that moment I had a major dilemma because I could no longer move because it was tangled in a wheelchair and also being used as a blanket. So as the show must go on, you know, I unhooked the neck piece as if that was perfectly choreographed. Okay. And dropped the cape, gave the most dramatic expression I could give, and then ran through the curtain without my cape and said to, of course, the lovely Christina and I think one of the other dressers. And she looked at me because she would help me with my cape. And I said, my cape is out there. And she's like, what do you mean? Where's your cape? And I said, I couldn't even say it fast enough because I was in such a panic. I'm like, it's out there. And she kind of like just looked concerned and then went out, and I peered behind the curtain and had such a good giggle watching her try to maneuver this cape and negotiate with these, you know, elderly German women, like trying to get this cape back from them. But anyway, if I could sum it up, it was the beautiful thing about working with Karen, and right from the start, because Karen did the first show I was in my first show with Karen. And Karen said something that made me feel so at ease right from the start. She said, well, you hire the best and then you get the hell out of the way. And I thought that was so sweet. And it gave me a little boost because I had a lot of insecurities joining this show at the first time, because I was with a lot of pros, people that had done shows for years or were just phenomenal skaters like Kim and Brent, who were ice dancers and learned lots of choreography, and I had not. So for me, that was such a nice thing. And I've tried to keep that in my mind because I've done a little bit of choreography, not nearly as much as Karen has, but and I feel like sometimes you need to just get out of the way and let things
get out of your own way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So
they're the best and stay the hell out of their way.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot that one. You're right. I forgot that one. Another rule, one of life's rules. Look at Lisa Navarro. Okay, everybody, do you see Anna? Anna Banana? Hi, Anna. Oh my golly. Okay. Y'all know we'll be here forever. Hi, Phil. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So many memories, so many fabulous. I go back. Okay, here's the thing. I should probably close with this. And I've said this to Vincent. He knows this. Do you ever know Vincent, my husband? Oh my God. I could not be married to anybody else. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, just know that I am so happy that I've had this reach and this incredible experience with everybody, and the memories, the family, the friendships, and aren't we all so lucky? I mean, come on.
What I've learned over the last 28.
I can see Tara. Tara's like this. Yeah.
What I've learned over the last 28 years is learning how to say, yes, dear, what else can I do for you?
True. Very true. Keep me well fed. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think
Karen.
Yeah? Who's that?
Can I say one thing?
Okay.
It's Tara. Can you see me?
Okay. I can.
Okay. I'm going to try I'm going to try not to I'm going to try not to cry, but assisting you for, like a few years.
Show daughter, #1 assistant. Mm-hmm.
The best thing, and I told you this, was that it was such an honor to work for and with somebody that through all of the shows and all of the years, everybody said positive things about you. You had such an impact on so many lives. And it always amazed me that time and time again, even ones like if you had words with them, or, that something happened that maybe they got in trouble with you, which was very rare. Nobody ever had negative things to say about you. And that for me was such an honor to represent you, Karen. I just
stop. Well, shucks.
Shucks.
That's nice. That's really nice. Okay.
I think we can drink one more time because we all agree.
Oh, thank you.
One more time. Yeah. But you did say that there is, I remember you said there was the wrath of Karen. And I looked at you once, this was years ago, and I said, what? There's a wrath of Karen?
Yeah.
And Kara said, oh yeah. That's when I look at somebody and said, no, sweetheart, that's not the step. Anyway, cheers to all of us. And I'm seeing Sophia and Natalie. Oh my God. Hello. Oh my God.
Hi.
Generations, decades. Keep it going, you guys. Just keep it going. And Alex, oh my God. All right, well, cheers to everybody.
Cheers to everybody. Thank you.
I'm now going to press leave, okay?
Yeah, and I'll end the meeting. And again, thank you so much for being here. Oh my goodness. Thank you, everybody. And Doug and Cindy and Tara that are still here, and Nisha, Colleen, Delete, everybody. So cool. We'll do this again. So Doug, think of your stories. Cindy, think of your stories. Patty, think of your stories.
Yes.
Sarah. Yeah, everybody. Let's do this again.
Bye, Jess.
Bye.
Okay, bye.